Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my Avengers Infinity War review. So I have seen it twice, and also if you don't know me outside of YouTube, I actually work at my local Cineworld. So obviously I am going to be screen checking and watching more of the film. So from this review I am going from seeing it twice obviously and then screen checking it as well. And also this video is going to contain spoilers because there is no way I'm going to be able to talk about it and literally not talk about certain things because it was such a good film. I cannot. And also, just a cheeky, so this is Shane's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 t-shirt that I got him from Primark if you are interested, but I just thought I'd wear it because, ooh, Marvel. So yeah, it's got a teenage baby Groot. No, I think this one's baby Groot on here. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Let's start from the start, obviously. So Thor, great, beautiful, my favourite Avenger, handsome, beautiful Chris Hemsworth, can we just say. So absolutely love him. I love his new look with his short hair and his beard and one eye, you know, so that was all great. Absolutely terrifying that Thanos is holding him by his head. Now I don't like that at all because I'm all here for Thor. Obviously I do know that a few Avengers, I think obviously Thor, Captain America and Iron Man, their contracts are going to be ending soon. Just shout out as well, I don't actually read the comics. So I'm obviously a Marvel fan from the films. So obviously I am aware that some people have said that Thor's gonna die in the comics and then, you know, all this jam, and I'm just not ready to watch that yet. And I'm so glad he survived Infinity War because me and Shane, if you don't know, he is my boyfriend, we absolutely adored Ragnarok, and it's definitely one of my favourite Marvel films now, Ragnarok, and I'm all for the whole like God of Thunder and everything. Like, he's sick. Love it. So when obviously I saw Thanos holding his head, I was like, this is it, this can't be it, like, no. And with Loki, and that did break my heart, and they weren't playing around with this one, were they? No, they went straight in, kill him. Loki's dead, gone. Everyone knew it was coming, and I really didn't want Loki to die because he is one of my favourites. Like I said, I love the Thor films, and like the second Thor film that came out, me and Shane actually went to watch that together, so that was sort of like our own little like date night and whatnot. So that was really cute, and I just can't believe, like, especially how he killed him as well. But you just knew it was coming. I was just like, you're gonna be an idiot, there's no way you're gonna be able to stab him, Loki, like, ugh. And how he was like Odin's son. Like, I love the brotherly love that Thor and Loki have, even though, you know, it is a bit like mix and match and like, oh, I'm dead but I'm alive and go away, I don't like you and all that. But that started me off and I cried twice, obviously seeing it twice, and I was like, it's gonna be bad, it's gonna be bad when there's gonna be so many people that go, and I'm just not ready. Oh, so obviously Loki gone. It was just way too much for me, way too much. But they literally like went in and was like, yeah, gonna kill one off straight away, like, ugh. Also, Thanos is absolutely terrifying. The actor is just fantastic, and I just feel like he is definitely one of the scariest villains I've ever seen in a film, and I was just like, damn. And also how we find out that he's really quite sensitive and really does love Gamora. I'm gonna get onto Gamora very soon because I am heartbroken. I bawled my eyes out. So moving on, obviously Thanos's children are absolutely terrifying again, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, I'm glad I'm not fighting against them. They were bloody scary, especially who Iron Man quotes as Squidward. I don't know his proper name, I'm sorry, but he was very scary. Very cool though, how he was all like, and like, yes. And it reminded me a bit of like, and how he was like, shh. It was just so funny and great, and he was such a good character and really, really scary. And the female as well, the female like Thanos' child with the horns. Obviously if you've seen it you know. She was pretty cool as well. Like, I'm not very good with the actors' names. So moving on, obviously getting on to Doctor Strange and Bruce, and oh yes, 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 yes. To be honest, I didn't really care much about like Iron Man and forgotten her name getting married. Like, oh okay, you know, finally it was going to be cute, but you just knew you are watching a Marvel film, you are watching an Avengers film, they are going up against Thanos. There is no way he's just like not gonna fight, so you got no chance, sweetie. But yeah, I didn't really like that to begin with, but it did crease me up how like Tony Stark was saying to Doctor Strange, you know, like, oh, you're a wizard and you know, you're giving out free tickets and stuff, and I really liked how it was all, there was a lot of funny bits in this film, but I liked it how it was funny and serious, and it wasn't trying to be too funny and like shove it in your face basically, which I do find with some Marvel films, that sometimes they are trying too hard to be funny. But with this one, I didn't actually find it trying too much. I think if anything, Mark Ruffalo did have a few like too many one-liners, and also I was a bit gutted that like the Hulk wasn't really in it more, but I feel like there was more of Mark Ruffalo in it, which was great. Like, I absolutely love him from 13 going on 30. If you've seen it, yes, like, he's an amazing guy. But I was talking to Shane and our friend Lewis, and we were sort of deciding that like maybe the Hulk didn't want to come out because obviously he got beaten out of to begin with by Thanos. So we were like, oh yeah, maybe obviously he doesn't want to come out and stuff. So this is really like a chilled, like handsy video, sorry guys. So yeah, that was sort of our little like theory that we went through, you know, that the Hulk didn't want to come out because he was too scared maybe, or I don't know. So again, obviously I've only seen the films, I haven't read comics or anything like that. So I absolutely love Scarlett Johansson as a blonde. Like, she's beautiful as a redhead, but I love her blonde as well. I feel like she didn't really get a lot of like talking in the film, and like there was a lot of action with her in it, but not as much as I'd liked personally, especially from like previous Marvel films that she's been in as well. So the Scarlet Witch and Vision. Now, I really liked Vision in Age of Ultron. I found it hilarious that he was able to like pick up Thor's hammer and stuff, but this one I didn't really like. It sounds really bad, but I didn't really care that he died. So I was a bit like, meh, you know, you have an Infinity Stone in your head, either way you're gonna die, basically. But it did sort of break my heart a little bit when obviously Scarlet Witch and Vision were like, I love you and everything. That was a bit much, I must admit. But other than that, he's not one of my favourite characters. That's just me. And I felt so sorry for him, how it was literally like, yeah, like, you're dead, but in a good way. And then Thanos is like, hold up, I'm gonna turn time around, bring you back to life just to kill you again, but like in the worst, harshest possible way. So I was a bit like, oh god, like that's bad. Like, I'll give him that, that like sucks, literally like dying and then having to come back to life, see it all again, but then die even worse, like, and more painful, I presume, before. Like, oh, that was like too much. But I like the little relationship and stuff, that was really cute. And yeah, she is like sick, she is badass. I'm loving a lot of obviously all these female like Avengers and superheroes, and I'm just like, yes girls, yes. Oh my god, and the scene as well where like Steve Rogers comes back past the train and like is like, mate, I am here, like Captain America has arrived but with no shield, and it's the Avengers music that's literally like, it's just like, yes, 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 this is the film that we are watching. I love it so much, it's so good. It made me feel like I literally couldn't stop smiling. I was like, eek. I love Sam as well, the Falcon. Oh, he is great, he is so funny as well. Oh, I'm getting like really agitated, like, oh, I'm just so happy and I need to see it again. Like, I love this film. This is such a good film. Literally, this is the only Marvel film that I've ever properly cried at. You also have the Guardians come on in, and I love how they're all singing, and Drax, I love Drax. He's such a good character. How he just comes out with these lines, and it's just like when Star-Lord and Gamora are kissing and he's like, dude, how long have you been standing there? And he's like, an hour. And it's like, oh my god, they was just so funny, especially when obviously Tony Stark, Star-Lord and Drax were all there and they were like, where is Gamora? And then Tony Stark's like, who is Gamora? And then Drax is like, oh, do you want better? Why is Gamora? And it's just so funny. He's like perfect just for these lines, and it's just great. He's such a great character, such a great character. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy so much. The first one I adored, the second one I loved as well, and obviously with baby Groot, and now obviously how Groot is like a little teenager now, and especially when he was like, I am Groot, and they were like, whoa, language, because he's playing his like Space Invaders, I think it is, or Space Arcade, or Invaders, I can't remember. Like, there's so many like little bits, and I was trying to pick up everything, and it was just like, oh, it was such a good film, like, oh my god. I absolutely loved Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I didn't sort of stick with her too much. She wasn't like one of my favourites, but then she's definitely become one of my favourites from Infinity War. I love how you see her background, because she's not really like, you know, she's not like an original Avenger, you know, you know all about them and stuff, and it's really nice that they've brought like sort of her from the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you see like her, it's basically sort of like Thanos's and her film and like story that is really focused on, and I really like that and enjoy that it's just so them. And it made me really upset that Thanos really like actually loved her initially, and I was like, oh my god, you have a heart but you're still a douche for like basically ruining everyone. And when he sacrificed her for the Soul Stone, I cried, literally cried. I even looked over to Shane and he was like sniffing, and I was like, you've got tears as well. Like, it got me. And it's so sad because she was such a great character, and obviously her sister as well was like, no, and stuff, and oh my god, it was just too much. Like, like, there was so many deaths in this film, and I will obviously say at the end who like my worst ones were, but she is like up there in the top 3 as like one of my worst deaths from this film. Like, oh, it was too much, way too much. I love that obviously there's like sort of 3 things happening at once. You know, you've got Thanos hunting for all the stones, and then you've got Captain America heading over to Wakanda, which obviously we'll touch on in a minute, and you also have like Tony Stark and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, they're all at Titan, and then obviously you've got Thor and Rocket and Groot heading over to get Thor's new hammer. Also, speaking of which, the actor Peter Dinklage, I cannot say his surname for the life of me. I liked that he was in it. However, as soon as I saw him, I was all Game of Thrones, and I'm like this with no matter what film. So Josh Gad, who plays Olaf, when he obviously was LeFou in Beauty and the Beast, I was literally like, that's Olaf. And Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint and Emma Watson, that is the Harry Potter trio for me. So whenever I see other characters in different films that have been in like films or TV shows, I'm like, oh my god, no, all I can think about is like Harry Potter, Frozen, like Game of Thrones. And it's like with Emilia Clarke that's in the new Solo film, I just look at them and I'm like, no, Game of Thrones, like, but that's just me. I really shouldn't be like that, but I just can't help myself. So I liked that he was in it, and like the irony that he was like a huge dwarf is like great, like such a good touch. And how Thor was like, oh, but if I die, and Peter's literally like, yes, that is sort of it, basically. So it's just like there was so many funny lines in the film, and I just couldn't stop like laughing. There was some really funny bits, and then even like not as funny, but they were still so good. I loved Black Panther, I really did enjoy it, and I loved all the technology and the music and how it was all completely different. Like, I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man and Black Panther. I like all these different types of films that are, you know, not just the same like Avenger type films and like Age of Ultron and stuff, but not that I don't like them obviously, but I like how they were just so different. Like, I didn't think I'd enjoy Doctor Strange, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I love his character as well. He's so like mysterious and like a badass basically, because he is so like wise and strong, and you just don't realize like how much power he actually has, which is phenomenal. However, the main thing that got me, that was just like, oh yeah, I'll just give you the time stone. Like, out of all the stones to destroy, why would you destroy the mind stone when you have the time one? Like, literally, as soon as they destroyed the mind stone, me and Shane were like, Thanos has got the time stone, he's gonna bring it back. It's so obvious. Like, I have no idea what that was. So, like, out of all this, but it was so like obvious, and it was such a good touch. Like, oh yeah, he's gonna use the time stone, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, like, but I gasped so loud when Tony Stark got stabbed. Like, everyone was like, yeah, Captain America's gonna die, he's gonna die in this one, yeah. And then bloody Iron Man gets stabbed, like, we was not expecting that, and how Doctor Strange saved him, and I was like, man, right in the heart, right in the heart. Also, can we just appreciate Iron Man's new costume and Spider-Man's costume? We are going to get on to the topic of Spider-Man and his death. I cried. He's a little kid, and he basically looks up to Tony Stark as a dad because of his whole like Uncle Ben situation and his dad's situation, and I cried so much when he was like, I don't want to go, don't let them take me. I'm getting emotional now. Oh my god, it was so freaking sad. Like, I can't, it was just way too sad for me, and that was my worst death. So obviously a sneak peek, but that was my worst death. I absolutely love Tom Holland as Spider-Man so much. I think I like him more than Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. I grew up with my brother absolutely loving the Spider-Man films with Tobey Maguire, and then Andrew Garfield came in, and I was like, oh my god, you are not only beautiful, but you were a great Spider-Man. And then Tom Holland, at first I was like, oh no, I love me a bit of Andrew Garfield. And then I saw obviously The Amazing Spider-Man, and I was like, mate, what a film. And Homecoming, isn't that such a good film as well? Like, but how, I just can't, like, he's such a little precious gem, and you just want to cuddle him and everything. And oh, that death got me so much, that really did. I was like, why? And they basically, like, everyone else like poofed away, but they really focused on him, and I'm glad that they did, because that's such a big impact, and I feel like everyone is gonna cry at that, and if you don't have a heart or care. And I'm just glad that they really did like focus on that, because everyone knows obviously Spider-Man's situation, not having a dad or an uncle, and how close he was with Tony Stark really is adorable and killed me. And oh my god, and I love everything that he did, you know, when they were all fighting Thanos on Titan, and it was just like, oh, magic, more magic, and like poof, and then Thanos was like, ah, insect, and oh, it was so good. Like, everything in that film, there's not one thing I didn't like. Well, I didn't really like the ending, and I say this because some Marvel films, they've ended on such a huge cliffhanger, you're like, I need to watch the second one now. But how they ended it with Thanos literally like getting what he wanted, like watching over the sunset all peacefully and everything, like, I didn't like that. I wanted it to end like so sudden that you were just like, oh no, I need to know what's happening. And it was just like, I don't know, it was, I'd say 50-50 I like the ending, but it wasn't like my favourite. Yeah, nah. I would have liked a different ending personally. But it wasn't the worst ending basically, so that wasn't too bad. And all the deaths as well, like Black Panther and Bucky. Can we talk about Bucky? I love him and how he was the first one to go, like Steve, how he called Steve, and I was like, Bucky, no. Like, I've seen the Captain America films, but I haven't seen them as much as all the others. So I do like them, but I don't know about Captain America and Bucky as much as like others maybe. But I have loved Bucky and Steve Rogers like in the last few Marvel films together, and that really got me, that death. And then obviously like Scarlet Witch and Sam as well, the Falcon, that was so sad. Like, why? I'm so glad like Black Widow's still there, like holla girl, yes. But like all the original Avengers are still there, and obviously Ant-Man and Hawkeye wasn't in it, so like obviously Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming out soon, but apparently that one is before Infinity War anyway, so that's going to be a bit okay, which I'm looking forward to. But I would have liked Ant-Man in Infinity War, I suppose, because obviously he could have helped out. And Hawkeye, I love Hawkeye, like what a guy, what a beautiful guy to begin with. Like all the Avengers are beautiful, I'm sorry, like they are. And I love that he's like gone to like retire to his family and have family time, but mate, we needed you, Hawkeye. Overall, I really loved this film. Like, I definitely think it's the one that I've really touched with more. It made me cry so much. It was so emotional, and there was a lot of emotions and everything happening at once, and so many characters dying and surviving, and people that you wouldn't think would die and stuff. And it was like, no, like, I'm so gutted, because there's some of them that obviously their contracts are ending soon, but there's some with like sequels. Like I swear there's another Spider-Man film confirmed, so like he can't be dead. Spider-Man cannot be dead, because I ain't gonna be happy if he is, because I love him. That was such a a bad one for me. Yeah, that was like pure tears and everything. But I really enjoyed the film, and I just cannot wait to watch it again. So guys, I feel like we all need to chat and enact it in the comments about this. Tell me your theories, tell me your thoughts, who you liked that died maybe, who you didn't like. Obviously, who was your worst death as well. Mine was obviously Spider-Man, then Gamora, and then Loki. Bucky was really sad as well, but obviously my top three are Spider-Man, Gamora, and Loki, and I'm just in shock. And literally it's like how like Black Panther, he's only just had a film out and it's like poof, bye, you're dead. So like you can't do that. But I'm so interested to see like how it all is. Like they cannot be dead, they cannot, because that's not fair. And like Doctor Strange as well went, and it was just too much. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave it here. I'm not sure how long this video is anyway, but let me know your thoughts, feelings, reviews. Let's all have a cry together about all the people that are gone. And yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you for a brand new video soon.